Webster's dictionary defines the term hero as a person who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. For the ocean, a hero is anyone or thing that takes action to save and restore an environment where life and resources are threatened or at risk. By raising awareness, people become informed and invested in their environment. And when they become more aware, they take ownership and action.
And how do you feel that today's planting went?
I think it went really great. We weren't really sure what to expect given the depth, but everybody did really well. Nobody ran out of air. Everybody was really great and vigilant about checking on that. And the corals looked great, especially the second dive. It was really smooth and everybody just knew exactly what they were doing. It was awesome.
People who fall into this category are true sea heroes, like the ones you'll meet in this study.
8 clusters left, so if a group finishes early and you're okay on air, we can have up to 3 groups put down 2 clusters for your group. But if you just
It started with Dr. David Vaughn, a former marine biologist at the Mote Marine Lab and Aquarium in Summerlin Key, Florida, and founder of Plant a Million Corals.
Well, as I try to chuckle and say I've had a checkered past, in that I've started actually with a PhD in marine botany, working on seagrass restoration.
Without realizing it, Dr. Vaughn discovered the technique of microfragmentation of corals. Dr. David Vaughn.
Plant a Million Corals is not just our name, it's really our recipe, and it's really what we do. We're showing that the new technologies can be transferred to people in island countries without costing millions of dollars and without it being something that's too hard to do.
It seems that cutting coral samples into very small pieces accelerates their growth rate, cutting the time it takes for them to reach maturity from approximately 20 years to as little as 2 or 3.
Philippe Cousteau and Alexandre Cousteau, the 2 grandchildren of Jacques Cousteau, showed what I was doing, and they all commented, "Why aren't you doing this for the reef?" So Philippe and Alexandra and I started the first international coral restoration initiative to show people that we can grow coral not just for the aquarium trade, but for the reef itself. And from a clandestine mistake, I brought a few corals that showed that the massive corals, which everybody was avoiding because they thought they grew so slow, could be made to grow and stimulated fast growth in multiples of 20, 50, and 100 at a time. Small pieces we call now microfragmentation. And microfragmentation is now a buzzword in the coral restoration world.
Now, research is great, but if there's no vehicle or system set up to actually outplant new corals as the techniques are qualified, the research is for naught. This is where organizations like Reef Renewal USA and iCare come into play. Reef Renewal USA was established to develop techniques to successfully outplant the baby corals both affordably and sustainably. Ken Niedermeyer,
Well, I'm hoping that I can inspire, more people to do this. I think I already have done that. But we're also looking to figure out, how to do it better, faster, cheaper, really scale it up. I mean, we've figured out how to grow corals, but now we need to figure out how to grow them faster and cheaper and how to outplant them faster and cheaper. I'm still real involved in the actual hands-on doing it, mostly to figure out a better way to do it. And we've got some things coming out right now that probably going to change the way everybody grows and outplants corals over the next 2 or 3 years. I'm having a great time seeing other people start nurseries and restoration programs, and just seeing all the excitement and the feeling that we can do this. I've said for a long time, my job is to sell hope and buy time. If I can sell enough hope, if I can get enough people that believe that can happen, then we can get support and we can maybe buy some time. Can we buy enough time? I don't know, but we're going to give it a good shot.
Founded by Mike Goldberg, a 2020 Scuba Diving Magazine Sea Hero and dive shop owner, and Dr. Kylie Smith, a marine scientist, iCare was established to educate the public about corals and teach them how to replant the reefs around Isla Mirada, Florida.
One of the most alluring things to me was actually coral. Not fish, but coral. It was a garden under the ocean that I didn't know. The coral stood out to me. And over the last few decades, I've watched the coral die. I look at what I see and I cry. And I didn't like that anymore. I didn't like crying underwater, seeing the reefs that I used to swim largely dead. I ran into Dr. Smith, Kylie Smith, and we hatched an idea between the two of us, long story short, to create iCare. And if it wasn't for iCare, I wouldn't be here. And my passion specifically is to get restoration started under our direction, Kylie's and my direction, and bring back something that maybe others have never seen. Most divers today haven't seen what I get to see or what I've seen. My co-founder hasn't seen what I've seen. And it breaks my heart knowing that so many people that get in the water, they cherish what they see and have no idea the splendor of what we lost.
Once set up, these organizations then needed the public to sign up and participate in outplanting. And that's where dive operators like Eric Billups enter the fray.
Here in the Florida Keys, our coral reefs are the pulse of our chain of islands. I'm Eric Billups, I own Isla Mirada Dive Center, and I'm here to invite you to come help us restore and rebuild those exact reefs. I have been in the dive industry here in the Florida Keys for the past 15 years, and I have seen a rapid decline in the health of our reef system. And the reef system is literally the heartbeat of the ocean here. And if we don't do something, they're gonna be gone in our lifetime. So it was time to act, and me being in the business with a lot of connections, we're making it happen. What I want to do is I want to start a legacy and hand it down, to generation after generation after generation. And the way we've gone about doing this is that we've partnered up with local schools. We have Coral Shores High School, we have Ocean Studies Charter School, we have Treasure Village. I've started a kids camp, and all of these youth-driven programs are part of the youth-driven programs is restoration of corals. We need your help. We can't do it on our own. We need a community, and our community is not just the Florida Keys. Our community is the world. We want as many people as we can to be a part of this, and I urge people to come down here, go to the nursery. You don't have to dive to go see the nursery. If you do dive, let's go out and plant some corals. If you don't want to do either of that, it all is going to help, and all we're doing is restoring an ecosystem that needs all of our help.
All have to learn that we can do a hatchery, a land nursery, a field nursery, and a field grow out. Put them all together and it means success.